From Colorado State University, this is the Emmy Award-winning Campus Television. Owned and operated by the Colorado State Student Body, Campus Television, covering the news, sports, arts, and entertainment of campus.
How's it going, Rams? Excited to be back after fall break. As always, I'm John Vu.
Stoked to be back as well. I'm Hunter Strand. Who's we got on tap for you tonight?
Colorado State football wraps up their season going 2-10 and losing their last game in the Mountain West Conference to the Air Force Falcons. Meanwhile, men's basketball heads to the Battle for Atlantis tournament in the Bahamas.
Volleyball traveled to the Sin City for the Mountain West Conference tournament, where they fell short during the championship match against Utah State. Women's basketball splits their weekend going 1-1 against Stanford and Texas Southern, while also in Vegas.
All that and more right here on CTV Sports, which starts right now. Colorado State football was busy at home this last Friday as they faced their in-state rival in the 3-8 Air Force Falcons, what would be their final game in the Mountain West Conference. It was Jackson Brousseau who got the start Friday after the suspension of redshirt freshman quarterback Darius Curry. In CSU's game against Boise State just a couple weekends ago, Curry was seen spitting on an opposing Boise State edge rusher, Jaden Virgin Morgan. Following the 49-21 loss to Boise State in a statement issued the following Sunday, CSU Athletic Director John Weber expressed his displeasure with Curry's actions. As, quote, "These actions are unacceptable. We are regretful what occurred last night, and on behalf of everyone at Colorado State, I want to apologize to the Boise State football student athletes, Director of Athletics Jeremiah Dickey, Coach Danielson, and the entire Boise State football program." Despite being without Curry, the Rams still had their final game of the season, still looking for their first win since early October. From the get-go, the Falcons came out swinging, scoring on their opening drive thanks to a 55-yard missile from Josh Johnson to Bruin Fleshman. And from there, it was all Air Force. While the Rams had a few positive drives of their own, it was the relentless rushing attack of Air Force that proved to be too much, as it was junior Owen Allen leading the way for the Falcons, rushing for 107 yards and 2 touchdowns on 25 total carries. The Falcons outrushed the Rams in total yards with 316 to CSU's measly 12, leading to yet another blowout loss for CSU, ending with a final score of 42-21. With their Friday loss, the Rams ended their final season in the Mountain West, finishing 2-10 in what could be seen as possibly the most disappointing season in recent memory. Despite a discouraging season, the Rams made a splash before Friday's game with the announcement of the hiring of UConn head coach Jim Mora as the program's 25th head coach. Mora now takes a program who has aspirations to compete at the highest level as they ascend into the Pac-12 this next summer. While the optimism has returned
I sent a text
to Ram
to
country,
somebody
the
here
program
when the job was open expressing my interest. So that's when it got on my radar initially. I have a relationship with Jay Norvell. Jay coached for my dad. I grew up in this business, so I'm always very, very sensitive to the changes that take place. But as a football coach, we all understand that change is inevitable, and it's something that we have to accept if we're going to be in this business. When the program decided to move on from Jay, I was immediately interested. It renewed that interest that I had in 2019. And fortunately, that interest led to me being able to sit here in front of all you today as the new head football coach at Colorado State. And there is no top to the mountain. There is no top. You just keep going. You keep climbing. And when you reach one peak, you find a way to get to another peak. You set a standard. When you reach that standard, you push the standard higher. So there is no peak. There is no finish line. There is no limitation. There is no timeline other than today. How good can we be today? And then tomorrow, and can we stack those days consistently? And if we can do that, all right, like I said, there is no limitation. I will never put any limitations on what this football team can be ever, if we do the work, which we will.
While the optimism has returned to Ram Country, the program has quite the agenda ahead. Whether it's recruiting or the transfer portal, the Rams seek to build out their roster in the coming months for their September 5th border warfare against the Wyoming Cowboys. The Rams have already lost big-time players like running back Jalen Dupree and Justin Marshall and wide receiver Armani Winfield. With the transfer portal opening in exactly a month, Mora and the program seek to hit the ground running. Hunter, what are your overall thoughts of the state of CSU football's hiring and just kind of this transfer portal stage?
Yeah, I think we're definitely in good hands. You have Coach Saban preaching that Jim Mora is a great coach. He's done it at all levels. He's been in the NFL, college. He took UConn to back-to-back 9-win seasons. I think we're getting a bunch of UConn transfers, and I think we're in good hands because it really can't get worse than 2-10 this year.
Yeah, it's going to be a very busy next 30 days, whether it's transfer portals or not free agency, but recruiting, signings, and everything like that. I do agree. We're in really good shape going forward. I think he has a good direction. He has plenty of experience, whether it's collegiate or professional, but I really do think the future is bright for CSU football.
No, definitely. I think we're in good hands. I think we'll definitely make a bowl game next year. Maybe compete in the Pac-12 for a playoff spot, but definitely not guaranteed.
The hiring overall, the pieces to depart already, and likely more are soon to come. But that'll about do it for our kind of segment on football. I'm really excited to see what he does with this opportunity.
Oh, yeah, it should be a good time. Colorado State's women's basketball took its first loss of the season in brutal fashion Saturday, falling 62-60 to Stanford on a last-second layup. After entering the night 7-0, the Rams controlled much of the game and led for most of the second half, before the Cardinals closed with a 13-0 run to swing momentum late. Madalyn Bragg managed to stop the slide with a game-tying layup at 60 seconds with just under 10 seconds left. But Stanford's Chloe Clardy took the inbounds out of a timeout, rejected the ball screen, and slipped through the CSU defense for the game-winning bucket with just seconds remaining. Lexus Bargesser led the Rams with 19 points, 14 of which came in a strong first half that helped CSU take a 25-23 lead into the break. Bragg was especially efficient, finishing with 12 points on 6 of 9 shooting. Colorado State locked in, controlled through 3 quarters, outscoring Stanford 20-16 in the third, behind timely offense from Chloe Frobe and back-to-back threes from McKenna Murphy to build a 45-39 advantage. But the Cardinals' late pressure proved costly. Key shots from Courtney Ogden and relentless defense activity shifted the game in the final minutes. Even after Hannah Rockensek's clutch 3 and Bragg's game-tying layup, CSU couldn't get the final stop it needed as clarity slipped away in the game-winning score. Up next, Colorado State returns to Moby for a high-anticipated matchup against Utah on December 4th at 6:30 p.m. The game served as the program's annual whiteout and a former Mountain West rival.
After concluding the regular season with wins over Grand Canyon and New Mexico, CSU Volleyball earned themselves the number 2 seed going into their last Mountain West Conference tournament after finishing the season with a final record of 14-4. With earning the number 2 seed came a first-round bye, positioning only 2 games away from going to back-to-back champions. With the upset from the 6th-seeded San Diego State over the 3rd-seeded Wyoming, the stage was set for the semifinals. Colorado State then traveled west to Las Vegas to face San Diego State in their Friday night fair for a spot in the championship. In what may have been their final game in the Mountain West, the Rams started off slow. In the first set, the Rams struggled defensively, unable to play a cohesive game, only hitting a 2-1-2, leading them to lose their first set 25-18. Even after losing in what can be seen as a very discouraging first set, the Rams came roaring back, winning sets 2, 3, and 4 to win the match thanks to major contributions from Eve Wilson, Hallie Jamison, Maria Brune, and Keikua Richards. The Rams earned themselves yet another championship berth. After a 5-set thorough win over Boise State Broncos, the Utah State Aggies found themselves meeting the Rams one last time after winning both matchups earlier this season in a 3-0 road sweep and a 3-1 home win. While it was encouraging going into the championship, the Rams had quite the opponent ahead as the Aggies were undefeated leading up to the championship match. After losing the last 2 matchups earlier this season, the Rams looked to pull off a major upset in what would earn them an automatic bid to the NCAA National Tournament. It was the number 1 and number 2 seeds going at it for gold, and let's just say the number 1 seed Aggies came ready, completely dismantling CSU's defense, winning the first set 25-16 thanks to big-time plays from Utah State's Lauren Helgeson and Mara Stiglich. Going into set 2, the Rams knew they had to ramp it up. However, Utah State had other ideas, completing their dominance, winning set 2 25-20. Even with the Rams being one of the best blocking teams not only in the Mountain West but in the nation, it just wasn't enough as Utah State's offense proved to be too much going into set 3. With the Aggies sensing the championship within their fingertips, they completely shut the door on the Rams, winning set 3 25-19 and the overall match 3-0. With the sweep, the Utah State Aggies remained perfect in in-conference play, making them champions and earning themselves an automatic bid for the NCAA National Tournament. While it was a heartbreaking ending to the 50th season of CSU Volleyball, there was a lot to celebrate, as Hallie Jamison, Eve Wilson, Maria Brune, and Aaron DeBeck all earned themselves a spot on the All-Mountain West regular season team. In the Mountain West Tournament, Aaron DeBeck and Keikoa Richards earned themselves All-Mountain West Tournament team alongside Eve Wilson, setting the Mountain West junior hitting percentage tournament record, averaging a .650 through the entirety of the tournament. While it was a disappointing way to end their pristine tenure in the Mountain West, the Rams now look towards starting a new legacy with head coach Emily Cohen at the helm as they ascend into the Pac-12 this next summer.
Colorado State men's basketball turned a competitive battle for Atlantis matchup into a second-half clinic on Friday, pulling away from South Florida for an 83-68 win after a back-and-forth first half that saw CSU take a slim 4-point lead into the break. The Rams erupted offensively, shooting an incredible 78.3% in the second half and piling up 50 points to put the game out of reach. No one shined brighter than Josh Pasquarelli, who delivered one of the best shooting performances in program history. The sophomore went a perfect 8 for 8 from 3 and finished with 28 points, knocking down the Rams' first 3 triples of the game and fueling multiple scoring bursts, including a stretch of 3 straight threes early in the second half that pushed CSU's lead to double digits. South Florida briefly kept the game within 2 possessions, but the Rams responded with a decisive 14-0 run powered by 2 threes from Pasquarelli and 1 each from Chase Butler and Kyle Jurgensen to balloon the lead to a 17 and close the door. Around him, CSU played one of its most complete offensive games of the season. Jevin Munez recorded a career-high 10 assists while adding 7 points and 6 rebounds, and Kerry Booth posted 16 points for his 8th straight game in double figures. The Rams finished with 23 assists on 30 made shots and became just the second team this season to hold USF under 90 points. I had the chance to catch up with head coach Ali Farokhmanesh. Here's what he had to say about the team so far this year.
Colorado State's men's basketball team has been off to a strong start this season, with a 6-2 record overall and coming off a 2-1 record in Battle for Atlantis tournament. Here is Coach Ali Farokhmanesh's thoughts on how this team has celebrated the small wins so far this season.
They're starting to see that's fun. They see the value in it, and they're starting to they've always celebrated each other pretty well, but I thought last game was it was really impressive how much they celebrated the small wins for each other, and it was even from Jevin's charge to the extra passes to the ball movement to even guys recognizing what each other's working on to grow and get better at. Like, they're celebrating those things too.
With this being Coach Ali's first year here at Colorado State as head coach, there's been a lot of questions in what this team identity will look like. But so far this year, the guys seem to be growing every day.
Summer a little bit. In July, they started noticing that, like, when the ball moves, it usually makes its way back to me. If I make a great cut to get that person open, usually that leads to a drive that I'm the guy that gets the next shot.
With the team having 5 new transfers this year, they have had to adjust a lot of things early in the season. Here's Coach Ali's thoughts on how they have handled the pressure early in the season.
In front of a crowd like that, and then versus a ranked team, it gave them the opportunity to do that on the road right away. And that's exactly what we wanted out of it. We learned so much about not only the group as a team, but individually. How do you prepare? How do you get ready? How do you stay focused? How do you handle when things don't go your way? And they've done a phenomenal job of that. We've had some, I know we're 4-0, but we've had some adversity that's hit us at different times in different ways, and they've responded every single time.
With such a new team, everyone has to be committed. Everything starts with the staff, down to the players. Here's what Coach Ali had to say about commitment.
Staff has synergy. It usually equates to the team having synergy too, and they notice that if we're not connected as a staff, like, our team's not going to be connected. So I think it starts with our staff and how connected they are, and we're sacrificing. I mean, I have a former head coach, 2 former associate head coaches from other places. They're all sacrificing too, and our players see that. So if our players are sacrificing, our coaching staff's sacrificing, it creates a huge unit of people that are all pushing in the same direction.
Florida State continues to build on a season defined by depth, experience, and poise. With conference play approaching, the Rams are positioning themselves as one of the most dangerous teams in the Mountain West. Whether it's their efficient guard play, improved defense, or the way they've closed out tight games, CSU looks like a group ready to make noise down the stretch. We'll keep following their progress as the season unfolds.
Colorado State now returns to Fort Collins for a rivalry showdown with Colorado this Saturday at 3 p.m. Don't go anywhere just yet, Ram fans. We have a very special report from our feature reporter, Gideon.
I'll be right back. Hi. You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. If you're probably sober, then why would you do that? Good choice.
Probably okay isn't okay. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
That's a full glass of wine. I'll be chatting you later.
Welcome back from the break, Ram fans. Now, if you've been watching us this semester, you know that I don't like staying at the surface level. I like to know the why of sport more than just what you can see. And with winter sports arriving, new rising stars have made themselves apparent. With the help of videographer Katie Shadler, I'm actually about to meet with one of them who just won CSU's Athlete of the Week here on Beyond GA with GA. I'll see y'all there.
All right, Ram fans, how are we feeling today? Now, I am here in Moby Arena, and I have a very special guest joining me.
What's up, guys? I'm McKenna Murphy from the CSU women's basketball team.
You come to CSU. Were you expecting to redshirt?
It was definitely hard, but I'm really grateful for the opportunity that I was able to redshirt and just have a year to get stronger in the weight room and then just better on the court and become more of a leader and then help the team win.
Heck yeah. Here, I realized I forgot to shoot.
Oh.
Hey, there we go.
Yes.
Oh, I hear that you actually want to become a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
What exactly made you want to do one of the hardest professions that a human being can do?
Ooh, nice shot, by the way.
Thank you.
I would definitely just say my parents really pushed me to strive for the best, and my mom's a nurse right now, and she told me that if I just kind of, study hard, I could become a doctor, and I just think helping people is really what I want to do as my end goals.
Heck yeah.
3 for 3, come on now.
Hey, you're saying that like with my terrible shot, I ain't 2 for 3. When do you have time to have like a social life or even just sleep?
Yeah, I mean, the social life is definitely hard, I will say that, but I do prioritize my sleep, so I do try to get to bed at a good, decent time. School ultimately comes first. That's what's gonna get me to where I need to be.
What would you say you want the people of Northern Colorado, or just anyone watching this, to know about you?
Yeah, I mean, definitely for me, just
crap, that's awesome.
that like I'm more than a basketball player, just want to be known as a good person for the little girls watching us. We have a life outside of basketball and we're just having fun.
Heck yeah. You're probably gonna drill this.
There we go.
All right.
You can find the full interview on our YouTube, and it should be done uploading right about now. You will see McKenna and the rest of CSU women's basketball on Thursday, December 4th, against the University of Utah at Moby Arena at 6:30 p.m. After the break, Hunter, John, and I will be going over some of the top Mountain West and CSU athletic events in Pick Ems.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie, nailed it. We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's put a ride home.
Welcome back from the break, Ram fans. Let's get into everyone's favorite segment, Pick Ems. And we've got a big game. We've got the Border War, or not Border War. We got Rocky Mountain Showdown. We got Boulder and CSU. Who y'all got?
Yeah, I'm going to ride with CSU. I know CU's 8-0 this year. Somehow they're 8-0. Very fraud team so far. Barely beat CBU last night at home. I'm going to go with CSU to beat them again this year.
Personally, I'm also going to go with CSU here. The return of Rashawn Bemba should shore up our rebounding game, and honestly, I don't see anyone on CU who's as big of a rebounding threat as Bemba.
Okay, you guys are going to hate me because I'm not going with the home crowd. I know. I'd love to pick CSU.
Suit always picks against CSU.
I mean, I was right against Virginia Tech. I picked Virginia Tech. Look how that happened. But I'm going to go on Boulder in this one. I'm really confident in their bigs. I think they have one of the best freshmen in the country. I don't know. Of course, I'm rooting for CSU, but I'm going to go with the Boulder in this one.
Hey, fair enough. Sometimes you got to go with your head over your heart.
We also have another big game. We got Utah CSU women's basketball this week. Who y'all got?
Well, I'm actually going to be going CSU here for the very reason of I think that the depth that CSU has, including players like a McKenna Murphy, who we just learned more about, I think that our depth will triumph over Utah.
Yeah, I'm going to pick Utah in this one. Much better team, Big 12 conference. CSU kind of looks shaky against Stanford, so I'm going to go Utah.
I'm going to redeem myself, too. I'm just going to go with CSU. I just got a gut feeling, but yeah.
Okay. We'll see how that goes. That is all we have for you tonight, Rams. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next Tuesday with more sports updates.